Mummy? 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 Mummy?
Our tale begins with Jason, son of King Aeson of the Greek city-state of Thessaly. Aeson's half-brother Peleus was power-hungry and sought to gain dominion over all of Thessaly. While Jason was still an infant, Peleus overthrew Aeson, the rightful king, killing all of Aeson's descendants, except Jason, whose mother sent him away. Peleus, fearing that his ill-gotten kingship might be challenged, consulted an oracle, who warned him to beware of a man wearing only one sandal. After reaching manhood, Jason returned, having lost one of his sandals while helping an old woman, who was actually the goddess Hera in disguise, cross a river. Jason, aware that he was the rightful king, informed Peleus. Peleus replied, "To take my throne, you must go on a quest to find the Golden Fleece," thinking he would never succeed. Jason readily accepted this condition. He travelled with a group of heroes, the Argonauts, through a series of adventures to reach Colchis in the present-day Georgia on the Black Sea. Upon arrival, Jason announced to the King of Colchis that he claimed the Golden Fleece. The king said that Jason would have to complete 3 tasks, which would ordinarily be impossible to do. Hera intervened with Venus, the goddess of love, and caused the king's daughter Medea to fall hopelessly in love with him. Medea held mystical powers, which helped Jason accomplish the tasks and take the fleece. She also killed and dismembered her brother to delay her father's pursuing army, which stopped to pick up the body parts. In doing so, she became an outcast in her own land. Upon their arrival in Greece, Medea convinced Peleus' daughter to cut her father into pieces and put them in a cauldron, deceiving her that this would prolong his life. Peleus' son, outraged at the deception, drove Jason and Medea into exile. They eventually settled in the city-state of Corinth, ruled by King Creon. Jason, still harbouring ambitions to rule, began an affair with King Creon's daughter, Creusa, planning to marry her and become Creon's heir. Medea, unable to return home, became embittered that Jason did not fulfill his vow to her that he would love her forever. While these events took place in ancient Greece, the themes of betrayal, jealousy, desperation and dependency span across the ages to the present day. And so begins our story.
Medea's nurse shared her discomfort at Medea's depression and declining mental state with the tutor of Medea's 2 children. The tutor conveyed that he heard in town that Corinth's King Creon planned to drive Medea and her 2 children into exile. Medea eventually emerged from her house and lamented to local village women that Jason had married King Creon's daughter, Creusa. She had power and privilege in her ancestral homeland, which she left and consequently saved Jason's life on numerous occasions. However, in doing so, she betrayed her father, killed her brother, and became an outlaw in her own country. She fled her country with Jason and came to his home, which was her exile. She loved him and bore him sons. And after that sacrifice, he abandoned her in exchange for a younger woman. She did not know whether Greek women could endure such treatment, but she would prefer to die or see her enemies go down in blood. The nurse then announced King Creon's arrival.
Medea, I have made my decision. I have decided that you must leave this land at once and go into banishment with your children. I intend to remove your disturbing presence from Corinth. I am here to see to it. I will not return home until it's time.
You mean banishment?
Exile, banishment. Go where you may, Medea. But you won't live here any longer.
I and my children.
I will not take them away from you.
The children, my lord.
What are you muttering?
Oh, nothing. I'm praying for my gods for wisdom and you for mercy. The children are young and tender and helpless. You know what exile means. To wander for fear and famine. No guide nor driver through the wild raging storms and the raging suns. To beg for a bread crust, to be derided and pelted with stones in the village, to be held a little lower than a scavenger dog, to be kicked and scorned and slain. The children, my lord, they are Jason's children. Your friend, I believe. Now even closer by bound. And as for me, your servant, the master of Corinth, what have I done? Why should I be cast out?
I will tell you frankly. Because you nourish rancorous ill will toward those whom I intend to protect, I sent you out before you attempt to harm me. And I know you are notorious for occult knowledge, sorcery, poison, magic. You are dangerous. You threaten my daughter. You have to go.
But I wish her well. I wish her all the happiness in the world. I wish Jason were as kind to her as he was to me.
That is your wish?
I'm sorry. I misspoke. I was thinking of old days.
I acknowledge, Medea, that you have some cause for grief. But I must guard against your dark wisdom and bitter hurt.
You misjudge me cruelly. This is true. I have knowledge of drugs and medicine, and I can cure illness. But is that a crime? Well, these are dark rumors, my lord. You must have observed it often. When a man has more knowledge than a common man, they mistrust him. If he brings talent, how quickly the hateful whispers begin. But you are not a common man. You do not fear knowledge.
No. Not change my decision. I'm here to see you leave this country and the city. And not my time. Move quickly. I pity you, Medea. But you must go.
You pity me? Do you pity me? I can endure a dog's pity or an ugly toad. May the gods above me hear me. We will see in the end who is to be pitied.
Yes, and I'll keep her from your female hatred. Therefore, I send you out of the land.
But it is not true. I'm not jealous of her. I do not hate her. Jealous? For the sake of Jason? I am far past wanting Jason, my lord. You took him and you gave him to her. You did wisely. She is beautiful and loved by all. I would love her too if I were near her.
Trust you or not, you are going out of this land. What I decided is fixed. And you must make ready very quickly. I have a guest in my house. I should return to him.
Oh, I am not a beggar. I will not trouble you. I will not live so long. Give me a few more hours. What is one day? One day and I will be gone from Corinth forever.
No, Medea. No, Medea. I told you, the day is today, and the hour is now.
Oh, wretched, wretched I am, I and my children. Oh, I beseech sake of your child. One little day and I'll be gone from Corinth forever. Oh, Creon, please. Give me this half day. What's one day in the whole of Athens and Corinth?
I will think of it. I'm not tyrant. I have been merciful to my own heart many times. In my eyes, I seem sometimes to be foolish. If I grant you this thing, we shall watch you as a hawk dies a viper. What harm could she do in the tale of one day, one half day? A ruler ought to be ruthless, but I'm not. A woman weeping floats me, of course. Take it then, and make your preparations. But if tomorrow's sun shines on you here, Medea, I promise you die. Take me not. Enough words. I want my hands washed of this business.
I will thank you, and the whole world shall hear of it.
Some village women informed the nurse that King Creon was entertaining Aegeus, king of Athens, at his residence. The nurse revealed that Medea and Aegeus were well acquainted, and she suggested that Medea ask him for refuge after being driven from exile. Medea doubted whether Aegeus would accept her, since she planned to kill Creusa, King Creon, and Jason. The nurse counseled her against such revenge, just as Medea's husband, Jason, arrives. Jason expressed dismay that Medea insulted King Creon, and noted that if she had handled herself appropriately, she might not have faced exile. He said that, after repeatedly insulting the king and his daughter, she might have faced prison or worse, but Jason intervened to calm Creon's anger. When Medea attacked him for thoughtlessness toward his two sons facing exile, Jason said that his plan was to groom his sons to assume Creon's throne after his death. However, since Medea's temper has ruined those plans, he is planning to have another family that will assume rule of Corinth. Medea then threatened to kill Creusa and ruin Jason's marriage plans. She noted that she cheated her father for Jason and saved Jason's life on numerous occasions. She poisoned the Great Serpent, one of her father's tests for Jason to obtain the Golden Fleece, and killed and dismembered her brother so that her father would be compelled to stop and pick up the pieces, slowing him down as he was trying to catch Jason before he left his kingdom. She became an exile in her own homeland for the sake of Jason. She then arranged to kill Jason's uncle, Peleus, who had earlier murdered Jason's father and siblings and taken the throne from him. Jason countered that Medea's life in Greece was much better than in backward Colchis. Through Jason's network, Medea mingled with the leading intellectuals and political leaders of Greece. He also noted that the reason Medea helped him obtain the Golden Fleece was that Venus, goddess of love who favored Jason, compelled her. Jason requested to see his sons, but Medea refused. Jason departed in a huff. Medea then prayed to an ancient goddess to provide her with the means to take revenge on her enemies. Into this melee, Aegeus arrives, blissfully unaware of what he is walking into.
He's here, my lady. Aegeus, King of Athens is here.
Rejoice, Medea! There is no fairer greeting from friend to friend. Hail and rejoice, Medea!
Rejoice. It may be so. It may be I shall rejoice before the sun sets.
What's the matter with you? Your eyes are cavernous and your mouth twitches.
Oh, nothing. I am quite well. Fools trouble me and dogs. Have you come from far?
From Delphi, where I went to consult the ancient oracle of Apollo.
Delphi? Did you get a good answer?
An obscure one. Some god or another has made me unable to beget a child. That is my sorrow. But the oracle never gives plain responses. But Medea, I tell you these things because you are skilled in charms and mysteries and may be able to help me interpret the god's meaning.
You want a child? What did Apollo say to you?
That I must not unearth the hanging foot of the wineskin until I return to the hearth of my fathers.
And you've never had a child?
No, it is bitterness.
It's bitter to have children when misfortune comes. To watch their star-like faces grow dim to endure it.
When death comes, Medea, it is for a childless man. Utter darkness, despair, extinction. One's children are life after death.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Then, if one had a dog-eyed enemy and needed to seek absolute vengeance, kill the man's children first, unchild him, and then unlife him.
I do not care to think of such horrors. I have no enemy. What is it, Medea? What's the matter? You're trembling.
Oh, I am quite well. Fools trouble me and dogs, but not that.
What has happened to you?
Oh, my dear, my love.
I would not hurt my children. Their father hurts them.
Jason, what has he done? What do you mean?
He has denied and banished both the children and me.
Jason has done that? Why?
He is glad of it. He has cast us aside and married Creon's young daughter. And Creon this very day is driving us into black exile.
Jason consents to that?
He is glad of it.
Why, it's atrocious. It's beyond belief.
Asking for refuge, asking for Athens.
Where will you go, Medea?
Do not think such men ought to be punished, Aegeus.
But where will you go to, Medea?
Righteousness on heaven or in earth, they will be punished.
Oh, good bewildered, sir. She's lost in the storm and the ocean of grief. If not, she'd want to come to Athens.
Oh, yes. That should be so. That startled the man. Aegeus, will you protect me if I come to Athens?
Why, yes. Yes. But I want no quarrel with Creon. I'm his guest here. But if you, by your own accord, come to Athens, I will take care of you.
I could report it. I know the remedies that would make a dry stick burst into hate and flame.
You'll cure my sterility?
I could do so.
You're famed for profound knowledge of drugs and charms. When will you come to Athens?
If I come, if I choose, if the gods allow it. But tell me, Aegeus, will you protect me if I come to Athens? I have certain enemies. Powerful enemies come baying for my blood. Will you protect me?
Why, yes. But what enemies?
I will need peace of mind and a free will to perform the medicines to make you well.
You'll have them. You'll have them, Medea. Come the four corners of the earth. Your enemies will not enter the city. You'll be safe there. I am your pledge.
Do you swear it, Aegeus?
Why? I promised.
I trust you. Your oath is formal. Your cure depends on it. You swear by the fruit of the earth and the high shining heavens to protect me in Athens against all men. Swear it.
I swear by the fruitful earth and the high shining heavens to protect you against all men.
And if you should break this oath,
I will not break it.
if you should break this oath,
I will not break it.
the earth will give you no bread but death, and the sky no light but darkness. Must repeat the words, Aegeus.
If I break it, the earth will give me no bread but death, and the sky no light but darkness.
Yes,
When will you come to Athens?
Athens? Oh, Athens! Why, if I come, if I live, it will be soon. But I have some things to do first that men will talk of in hushed voices afterwards, while I and my children sit and laugh. Is that it, Aegeus? Yes. Farewell.
May the gods protect you, and farewell to you, dear nuts.
After Aegeus's departure, Medea plotted her revenge against Jason. Her plan involved sending a golden dress and veil to her rival, Princess Creusa. Jason visited Medea, during which she explores the depth of Jason's love for her sons, which was very deep indeed. Medea begged Jason to let their sons stay in Corinth, and Jason replied that he believed Creusa could persuade her father to acquiesce. Jason then left with his two sons, and Medea gave them the golden dress to present to their future stepmother as a gift of peace. After a while, the children's tutor returned to see Medea with some good news.
Rejoice, Medea. I bring good news. The princess graciously received your presents and smiled. It is peace between you. She has welcomed the little boys. They are safe from exile. She'll be kept there. Their father is joyful.
Yes?
All Creon's house is well pleased. When we first went in, the serving women came and fondled the children. It was rumored through all the households that you and Jason were at peace again, like a word of victory running through a wide city. When people gather in the streets to be glad together, and we brought the boys into the hall. We put those costly gifts in their hands. Then Jason led them before the princess. At first she looked angrily at them and turned away, but Jason said, "Don't be angry at your friends. You ought to love those whom I love. Look what they've brought you, dear." She looked and saw in the dark boxes the brilliant gold. She smiled and marveled at it. Then afterwards she caressed the children. She even said that this little one's hair was like fine spun gold. Then Jason gave them these toys and we came away.
Yes. If this were all, young man, I'd have your bones beaten to a blood broth for the good news you bring.
My lady.
There is more, however. It will come soon.
What the tutor did not know was that Medea had performed incantations so that the golden dress and veil would burst into flames when worn. Creusa therefore met a fiery end when she tried on the dress, and King Creon, in a vain effort to save his progeny, also caught fire and died in trying to extinguish those magical flames. Medea was waiting for that news from the tutor, resulting in her displeasure with his optimistic take on events. However, the tutor did bring Medea's 2 sons back to her. Shortly thereafter, the nurse arrived to report in graphic detail Creusa's and Creon's deaths, and exclaimed that the whole city of Corinth was in confusion. Medea confessed to instigating these events and promised worse for Jason. Medea then led her children into her house, bolted the doors shut, and set the house on fire. Jason arrived on the scene and demanded to see his children, but unfortunately, they had already met their fiery demise.
Feeble night bird, full of misery, comes knocking at my door. Can this be the great adventurer, the famous lord of the high seas, desired by women? The heir to rich Corinth, this crying drunkard on my dark doorstep. You've not had enough. You've come to sip the last few drops. I shall pour them for you.
What? What is that? What is staying in your hands?
It is the wine I was pouring for you. Spilt on my hands. Dear were the little grapes that were crushed to make it. Dear were the vineyards.
I came to kill you, Medea. Like a god beast, like a crawling viper. Give me my sons, that I will save them from Creon's men. I will go quietly away.
They are sleeping. I might let you look at them. But you can't have them. For the hour is late. Surely you should be going to your high-born bride. The night is fallen. Surely she longs for you. Surely her skin is not crusted black, or her forehead burnt bald, or her mouth a horror. She is young. Surely she loves and desires you. Surely she is fruitful. Are you looking for your sword? It's just up a bit. A bit further over. Yes, that's it.
I will kill you first, and then find my sons.
I'd be very careful if I were you, Jason. Stand very still and I might let you see them. Open the door so that he may see.
I knew it already. I knew it, I saw it before I saw it. No one beast could have done it.
I did it! I did it because I loved you more than I loved him.
Did you feel nothing? No pity. Are you pure evil? I should have killed you the day I saw you.
I tore out my own heart, and I laughed because I was tearing yours.
Will you laugh? Why I'm strong on you?
I would laugh. Know that every bone in your life is broken. That you are left miserable, friendless, mateless, childless, avoided by men and gods, unclean with evil excess, childless.
It doesn't matter now who lives and who dies.
You had love and you betrayed it. Now of all men you are the most miserable, as I am of women. But I, as women, despised a foreigner, alone, have met you and the might of courage, face to face, vengeance for vengeance and evil for evil.
Only give me my boy, my little pitiful violated body.
You would even betray their bodies, coin them for silver, sell them for power. No!
Only let me touch their dear flesh. Let me touch their hair.
No. They are mine, and they're coming with me. The carriage is at the gate. Now go down to your ship, Argo, and weep at its rotting hull on the harbour beach, drawn dry a strand never to set sail again. Even the weeds and barnacles are dead and stink, for that is your last companion. And your only hope is that one of the rotting timbers will fall on your head and kill you. Until that time, sit there and mourn, remembering the infinite evil you have caused, and the good you have made evil.